Today is Wednesday, January 3rd, 2024. And this is our first cult meeting of the year, Wizard Wednesday. Channeling in from the Quantum Downs, this is the Black Goat of the Wood, Elf J Trul. And joining me is...
the fuzzy orange puppet angel Dotta.
Bear.
Hey,
What's up, guys?
hello.
Guys, it is the year of the dragon. The bull run is upon us. InverseCramer is fucking real, and we've got comic books.
Yeah, that all checks out.
No, but for real, how weird is it? How accurate InverseCramer is?
It's really weird. It's really weird that like the day that he says Bitcoin's here to stay, then it drops like a crazy amount. It's like he's part of the predictive programming or something.
It's like he's part of the cabal.
Yeah.
No, but like his record on this is like unblemished. It seems like he says it's going up, the market's going down. He says it's going down, the market goes up. It's freaking creepy, man. Yeah, I don't think it was that Matrix Port article. I put 100% of the blame on Jim Cramer.
I heard Jim Cramer was one of those Mexican aliens.
Bear, way to bring it back to a month-old meme. I actually really appreciate that.
It's called a callback.
Okay, but yeah, also we got comic books. Bear, I don't know how this happened, but I literally got, like, I'm not joking, 100 copies of issue 1 in the mail today, and I don't even know where it came from.
Wait, are you being serious?
I'm being serious. It says it came from Apple Comics, but I didn't order these from Apple Comics, and I don't know why I got 100 copies.
Oh, you know what it was? I think I may have had Nalgene send them to you just so that you had some.
I want 100 copies. I have 0 copies in my inbox.
Yeah, no, Dotta, you don't get any. You don't get any, Dotta. Sorry.
No, I'll send you some of mine. Like, I don't need 100. Like,
No,
you should just like wheat paste them on the orb in your front yard.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no. We actually, speaking of comics, and stuff coming in the mail. Nalgene and I spent some time yesterday putting together care packages for all the team for some little prezzies. I think everybody's gonna be very happy. Everybody's getting comics. We got special team Magic Machine merch. It's looking good. So you'll get yours, Dotta. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
Awesome. Well, yeah, so we got a big show today, first show of the year. I'm going to give one of my New Year's resolutions. We've got a ton of cult questions, and we have some news about the Shadow Hats, everybody's favorite Ordinals project. But I think we'll put that off till later in the show. I think let's jump into cult questions, actually. So,
do you know something that I learned from another space person is that you tell everybody in the space, go to the tweet. I'll pin the tweet for this space, and everybody fave the tweet, because if you fave the tweet or comment on the tweet, then more people will see it. We'll get more people in here. We'll grow the cult. So I just pinned the tweet. Everybody go up and fave the pinned tweet let's get more people in here to Wizard Wednesday.
Work that algorithm.
Yeah, we gotta do it. You have to submit to the algorithm. So fave the tweet.
No, I'm really glad you said that. We should do that more often. But I actually don't see it in the pinned area.
I just added it.
There it is. Yep. Okay, I see it now. Yeah. So sorry, Dotta. What do you do again? Say that one more time.
You have to submit to the algorithm.
Right, but what's the exact steps?
Oh, you pin the tweet, and then you have everybody sort of favorite it, and you just start getting the all like the interactivity on it, and then it's
exactly, because like if people fave the tweet that says, "Oh, it's Wizard Wednesday," then like the algorithm says like, "Oh, Wizard Wednesday, that seems like something people would want to listen to," and then it shows it in more people's feed. More people join.
We sound like such effing boomers right now. I'm gonna stab myself in the eye.
Yeah, and then when they see them on the Twitter webpage, They get to browse the information superhighway. Sorry, you had a real topic. Go ahead.
No, it's good. I'm gonna say this every Wizard Wednesday. It's important. It really is.
Yeah, Cheddar Bob also mentioned that we should have put Shadow Hats in the title next week, I guess.
Should have.
Yeah.
You can change the title, you psychos.
Oh, jeez. How old are we?
Oh my god, what am I gonna do with you guys with all you old drags?
Okay, hold on. I'll do it. I'm doing it right now. Don't anyone else do it.
I'm the youngest one of us all, and I'm the least boomerish.
You're not the youngest,
You're
Bear.
not the youngest. You're
No,
the
I'm the
oldest.
oldest. I'm sorry. I'm the oldest, and I'm
Yeah.
the least boomerish. Maybe.
Okay, I just did it. How's that? I hope Cheddar Bob's happy with that.
Yes. Shadow Hat.
We got a Taproot Wizard coming up. EnglishNFT.
Hey.
Wait, did I do that right? Here we go. All right.
Can you host me so I can invite people? Host me.
Yeah, anybody's welcome to come up, by the way. English, hello. What up, dog?
What up? I heard Shadow Hats, and I was like, let me get in line here, and I'll just jump in the first first of the line. So I figured just let me be visible, you know. So I figured if I'm here chatting with you, my odds increases.
Yeah, you know what? We're talking about Shadow Hats. Let's just go ahead and jump into that first, actually. But before we do, English, yeah, I mean, as everybody may or may not know, the Shadow Hats are our Ordinals collection, which I think we're going to release very soon. But English, our Taproot Wizard's going to come out fairly soon.
All right, so it's a recorded space, and it's pretty official here. So I won't say anything, but I will say that.
It sounds like you don't want to say it.
Just hang around and listen for in like the next few weeks.
Okay. It is the year of the wizard in English.
It is the year of the wizard.
Rectify this.
Yeah. I would pay extra attention in the next week, 2 weeks, coming weeks, whatever that may be. That doesn't mean the wizards are going to be dropped, because I'll get that out of the way. That's not what's happening. But something else exciting may or may not be happening.
Okay. All right.
Amazing.
All right. Entropy and Bridge. Hello.
What's up, boomers?
Hey.
What up, Bridge?
Hello.
What's up?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I'm excited.
All right. Well, Dotta. Yeah. I mean, we actually do. Zenaris is asking about the Shadow Hats. I know I've been getting a lot of DMs about Shadow Hats. Maybe start with like who actually gets a free Shadow Hat.
Okay, so
free Shadow Hat.
Yeah, nobody.
English. Start with English.
You, me, and Bear are the only people who get free Shadow Hats.
The people who are on the stage right now, not anyone who's going to request afterwards, but just the people that are on the stage. It's just like this tight group right here.
Well played. All best friends.
Yeah. So the shadows are a collection of 666 ordinals that are the let's say servants of the Shadow Hats. There are 10 Shadow Hats. Funny enough, I've actually been saying that there's 9 Shadow Hats for like probably the last 8 months. I don't know why. I forgot maybe myself. But all that to say, there are a couple of things that qualify you for a free shadow mint. You don't even have to burn it. You just by being a holder and then claiming it, you get a free airdrop. And this would be
Dotta, I'm sorry, I have to interject real quick. You're already confusing people. Let me just be clear. There are actually 2 ordinals collections. There's the Shadow Hats and there's the Shadows. There's 10 Shadow Hats. There's 666 Shadows.
You got it.
So even I messed up earlier. What I meant to say was, how do you get a free shadow?
How you get a free shadow is by owning a Book of Shadows in the Athenaeum collection. B, by owning a Shadow Crystal in the Athenaeum collection. Or C, by owning a Jelly Donut Soul. Those are the 3 things that guarantee you a free shadow ordinal drop should you choose to claim it. We'll probably have like a form or something where you like need to fill out within a certain time frame. But yeah, those 3 things will be guaranteed. There are more Books of Shadows in the unopened imp boxes. I don't know the exact number, but
I have like 20 or so unopened boxes. Should I just open up all of them right now?
Yes. Everybody should open their boxes.
Can I borrow those real quick and I'll give them right back to you?
English, I love your persistence. I appreciate it.
Wait, Dotta, do you know how many Book of Shadows are remaining in the boxes? Or do you not want to say?
I know that I said the number or the range in Discord at one point, and I don't think any have been revealed since then. So you can go scour the Discord and find out what I said last time. I forget.
I was totally the one that asked that question too, because I was trying to scheme.
Good. Well, the answer is there. I don't know exactly where.
Okay. Do you at least know if it's more than 10?
It's not. No way. No, it's like 3 to 5.
Okay, got it. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so to get a free shadow hat, to reiterate,
free shadow.
Sorry, free shadow. See, I'm messing up. Free shadow. You have to own Book of Shadows, Shadow Crystal, or one of the donuts. And then, so Dotta, do you know when this launch mint will be happening?
Soonish. I think our optimistic target would be even as early as next week. But things always take a little bit longer, so I would say either like next week or the following week. But like our plan is to do it here in January.
And if you don't qualify for a free one, can you say roughly how much people can expect to pay?
No, because our current plan. Well, we'll get more mint details as we get closer. How about that? Let's give ourselves a minute to give ourselves like the flexibility, the optionality to make changes. But we'll announce more details on the mint in the future. Yeah, maybe next week.
Great. Entropy, hand up.
So it looks like August was when I asked, and at the time Dotta said there are 7 unrevealed Book of Shadows in the imp boxes, the Nightmare Imp boxes. I also asked about Shadow Crystals, and I don't think there are any more of those.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
There's more donuts. There's probably more donuts available in your souls. So that's going to be a cost-effective way to get a free one as well. So yeah, burn those wizards.
I'm not sure donuts in the Soul Collection are cost-effective.
Well, if you burn your wizard,
English, hand.
Yes. So just for like the sake of history and maybe just general knowledge, there's 10 shadow hats. I know each founder has one. I don't think there's 10 founders unless I'm mistaken. What are the other ones? Do some people get 2 and 3, or are those auctioned off later on? And then are the shadows parent-child, and there's like certain ones that pertain like 66 to each one of them?
Yeah, so the 10 for the 10 shadow hats, which are the collections that are inscribed under sub 1000 in their ordinal numbers are around 960. For those, we're going to keep 3 of them. So there's actually like a Dotta elf and a bear shadow hat that we are just planning on keeping forever. And then, so there are only really 7 that will end up on the market at some point. Our plan for this is we're not really in any particular rush. We may sell 1 or 2 in the near term to like strategic people who have like expressed interest. So if like people are interested, feel free to reach out.
Couldn't you quote like Brennan 10 BTC or some ridiculous number?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
because what we were looking for at the time was we were looking to be the number 1 highest ordinal sale ever, which I believe that there was a punk. I think it was an Ord punk. Gosh, now I'm getting them mixed up. But that went for 11 BTC, right? And we were saying, well, we'll sell a shadow hat as long as it can be the number 1 sale in Bitcoin. And I think that time is kind of passed in a lot of different ways. So.
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. But these people like are kind of people that maybe have the capital and part of the ecosystem, or somebody that you guys respect or something. It's not like an auction or anything like that.
We're not planning on running an auction this second, though there have been inquiries. So I think really the main thing with the shadow hats is something like we're really, really bullish long term on ordinals, particularly sub 10K and well, even more sub 1,000. So I don't really see it there be any rush. But at the same time, I think that like it's also goodwill to have a shadow hat out in the ecosystem. I think it will be good for the Shadows mint for one of them to kind of like be out there in the world. And so, you know, there's like it's all up for discussion, I suppose, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I agree on both of those points, and I think that's part why Udi is not in a terrible rush, like for the Taproot Wizards. Like
Right.
his words is like ordinals age differently, so like he's like I'm just not too terribly rushed. Like I'm gonna get them out there, but it's just not like I have to mint these out and get these out before like the hype dies down type of thing.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah. All right, and the second part. So are there like 66 childs to each parent, or this is not parent child?
So it's not using the like typical ordinals parent-child inscription structure for the shadows to the shadow hats. Though I will say that there's like they are using recursive inscriptions for the traits, right? So we've inscribed some of the traits for the shadows on chain, and then it's we're pulling from those traits recursively in order to build the individual shadows. But that said, we worked with. I think I'm allowed to say this. I think that they've said this publicly too. We worked with Cypher and Charlie Spears at Luxor, and Cypher was able to. Uh, what we basically orchestrated was a way to draw on-chain art with the transaction graph to create a decagram. And so he was able to, what we basically did is we took all of the shadow hats, we moved them from their original wallet into 10 different addresses, and then we basically used the UTXOs from 2 of the wallets to sort of summon each of the shadows into a third shadow hat's address. And so we'll put together a visualization of this, but what it basically does is create an on-chain diagram of a decagram pointing from 2 of the shadow hats to a third shadow hat during this summoning process. And so, and then all of that kind of like resolved on chain for the minting for the like say inscription process. They're also all inscribed on sats from block 666, which is not a particularly rare, right? Like many blocks.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of sats from that block that exist in the world. It's not an issue of rarity, but rather just like,
It's just cool.
yeah,
It's
it's
just
just cool, and it took some time to dig them up. Yeah, so these are some of the technical details under the hood of the shadows.
Yeah, I just want to add in like it was actually really fun the whole production of the shadows. Like talking to the Luxor team, it just it opened to my mind to a whole new market, a whole new way of that like Bitcoin miners are making money, which is like selling unique sats, like from block 66 in our case. I don't know. It's just really cool. You know, I never thought like something like that existed until we jumped into this project. And then the whole idea of like drawing a decagram on chain. I'm not sure if a lot of people are able to wrap their head around that. But I really hope we can get a really cool visual out of that when it's done.
Yeah, I mean it's done now. We just have to like visualize it on a page. Entropy, you've had your hand raised. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're totally fine. I was just going to make a quick note that as I was looking up that info, I thought OS was bugging out, but somebody just scooped up the only listed jelly donut for like 2 ETH here just a couple minutes ago.
Amazing. So there you go.
There you go. Great. Well, anything else about the shadow hats?
Happy to answer any other questions. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, we can chat about it.
Well, I know you said you do more information, and maybe you don't want to give specifics like a mint price or anything like that. Do you have like out of the 666, how many left are for like whitelist or whatever, or how many have been allocated to people that already have it? How many will be available, and do you have any more information based on like distribution of those spots?
Spots will be a different conversation, but in terms of the supply, we're probably going. There will probably be somewhere on the order of around 600 of them that will end up being like for sale, and we haven't finalized all the supply numbers or where it will go. So yeah, TBD.
All right, thank you, buddy.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Who has this inscribed Dotta? 988. Is
Oh,
that
me? Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
What's the story? Yeah.
When we were doing the original, like when we were doing ordinals back in, I guess just almost a year ago, right? So I think that Dota was inscribed on like either January 31st or February 3rd or something like this, like pretty early, like late January, early February. You'd have to look at the Explorer to see the exact date. You can call me on it. Really, like I was just trying to. I just wanted to like be there, and so I wanted to I just wanted to test it out, right? Like it wasn't clear, for example, that like these very early numbers would be worth so much. I really wanted to get into like the first 1,000. I even wanted to be even lower than 988. I already thought that I was late being at 988, and because it just was like, oh man, there's hundreds of these ordinals already, and like, man, I'm super late. But I was trying to get my node up in like the 300s, 400s, but you actually had to run a Bitcoin full node, and that takes like about 3 days to sync up. And so my PFP actually was a collaboration between myself and Droplister. So Droplister is one of the like original. He was very, very early in ordinals too. So I talk about this all the time. He has this really cool Bitcoin weird collection called the Dan files. So I haven't seen anything about it on Twitter. I'm like the only person I think that tweets about it still. But like he has all these super early sub 10K ordinals like that are like 4 or 5 different collections that are really weird. And one of them is called Tough Pills to Swallow, and they all have like it's like a pixel pill and then a little saying that's like a hard truth, like be reminded of the eventual death of your parents, like stuff like that, like all these tough pills to swallow. And I think it's really cool. And anyway, he was around and being super helpful with folks in the Discord. And so I asked him like, hey, could you inscribe this for me? He's actually the one who inscribed not only that Dota PFP, but as also the shadow hats themselves. He actually inscribed those before I got my full node up, and then transferred them over to me.
Awesome.
And yeah, so really, really grateful to his generosity. And I didn't pay him any fees. I don't even know if I think I tried to pay him back for the Bitcoin fees, and he was just like, no, you're good. He was super generous with his time there. So yeah, find out Droplister and give him a follow. He's a good dude.
Very cool.
He is a good dude. I remember meeting him that night that we inscribed these. He was super helpful.
Is he the guy that turned down a Bitcoin rock? I was looking at the list.
Oh, I don't know.
There was like 6 allocated, and like a bunch of them. So like CB Spears and was one of them, and Rondell and a couple of other people. I think some core devs stuff, and there was somebody. I think I'm gonna look it up. I'm just curious because now that you mentioned he was early and that name is familiar, it may or may not be, but just kind of an interesting fact.
Yeah, that has definitely been in the tweets these days.
Bridge just shared Twitter account. Is that the guy, Dota? Do you know the one that Bridge just shared in Secret Tower?
Wildman World is the one who declined the rock, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's right. That's who it was.
Well, I hope this is right there.
It's Droplister.
Yeah, Droplister Dan Anderson by chance?
Yep. He's the one. Yeah, here I'll share it up. I'll share it up top. He's great.
Yeah, that's cool. Just shows what ripple effects can happen when you just do like a quick, oh yeah, I can help you out real quick.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, dude has like 2,000 followers. Nobody even
Well,
knows who
that's
he
really
is.
the alpha. Like the most interesting people in this space don't have that many followers. Like once you have a lot of followers, it's probably because you don't have like that much going on, and then so your alternate
There's a
thing is to
lot
do
of
other
truth to
shit.
that.
But like
Yeah.
this, there's like almost an inverse relationship. Like it's like if you're probably pretty dope if you actually have this app, use it, and have a low count. So that's my thesis. As the number goes up, you're probably things that you have to. It's not always the case, but as a good rule of thumb, bullish on low follower accounts.
It's kind of true. There's some mega whales that I know of who have like 200 followers. Um, but
Bruce had
anyway,
a post earlier about the same topic too, and I followed a bunch of I think high value accounts with like sub 1,000 followers earlier today too. I feel like that's my goal for 2020.
Yeah, that's been my theme for the past week, just yelling across into the void from the hill, just like follow these sub 10K accounts. They have all the good signal.
okay, you guys want to jump to cult questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
And I wish Matto was up here because I think Matto's the only one who's going to know this first one.
Yeah.
But so Virgilus the Sorcerer is asking, will the new mounts be revealed for the next gameplay? He's talking about the Runiverse game, the mounts on the quantum gifts. Man, I don't know. Do you guys know?
Is Matto up here? I don't know.
No,
He's not up here.
no, I don't think we actually have a date for that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll talk about the next version of the Runiverse game. One of the key things for the next version of the Runiverse game is around being able to use your land. So like the main thing that we're trying to do, how do I say this? So the the next Runiverse event is going to be will be a time where you'll be able to actually acquire a land plot, and the mint details again will be forthcoming. But one of the key things that we really had an anchor for the Runiverse game was we wanted so that when you bought the land, you would be able to at least like play with the land to some degree, right? There's a lot of things involved in the Runiverse game with land, which is there's earning resources, being able to build infrastructure that's part of like the gameplay. So, for example, how there were like crafting stations in the game, you'll actually be able to build some like a forge, for example, on your own property if you have a plot of a certain size. And so there's all sorts of infrastructure that you'll be able to build on your land. You will be able to get the benefit from that. You'll get a benefit from that when other people use your infrastructure. Then the other part is around like the sort of social cosmetic aspect. You'll be able to customize your house, get different paint colors, get different materials, and then you'll also be able to customize the interior of your house. So my understanding for the next version of this game, oh, Matto's here. Matto, you can correct me whatever I'm about to say that's wrong, which is in this next version of this game, you will be able to acquire a plot of land. You will be able to build some structures on your own plot of land, and the exterior customization will be a part of it. I don't believe that the interior customization will be complete. I don't think that every possible building in the game you'll be able to build, and I think there's some degree of like resources that maybe you'll know. But I think I'm getting a little bit in the weeds of what features will actually make the cut. But like the goal is something like you'll understand a bit of the resources on your plot, but maybe not to the full extent of what will be there. So Matto, maybe you could fill in some of the color or correct some things I said that was wrong.
No, I think everything you said is pretty spot on. I think I'll try to run through in my head everything that you just said. 'Cause I think I missed a little bit because I was getting up on stage and there's a little time lag between Twitter Spaces when you're listening. Yeah. But I think from what I came into, everything sounded pretty correct. So I'll probably go in afterwards and ping you if there's anything.
Yeah.
But it sounded good. Yeah, we're gonna be built the next one. So the first phase that we had for the the Eve of Memory event. That was more like combat based, as I said. It was like a vertical slice that we want to show off some key aspects of the gameplay loop, but also in that way that we can showcase it that people mostly we get to primarily focus on one area in particular that gets like a lot of feedback. So the general combat and like exploring gameplay loop we wanted for that, rather more like the gathering gameplay loop. And for this one, now that you understand combat and gathering, that's going to feed straight into the next phase is going to be more focused on land plots and buildings. Very excited to get into that. I announced earlier today on the Twitter that we're actually going to be there's going to be the land sale is set for coming out in this build. We don't have a date yet on when the build is coming out, but yeah, we want to have people to actually, like you said, if we're going to have people building stuff on land, you know, like it makes sense that we want to do it on your own land, not just kind of like, you know, land that's out there as like a beta plot of land that's not going to exist, right? So, you know, seems like it's a good time to, you know, release land. Those of you who got seals of tenures from the Eve of Memory event, those will be redeemable for plots of land after the sale. So, you know, I have a common question is, you know, when I'm going to get it, or, you know, how I'm going to get it. The exact mechanics of how you're going to get it aren't really set in stone yet, but you are going to get it just after land sale. So don't worry when the land sale comes. You know, you're going to have your plot reserved for you just after it's gone through. Yeah, very excited. We're devs are hard at work. They just came back from their holiday break. They're all fired up, and we have some more announcements coming out probably this week or early next week. So just keep an eye out on the Twitter and, you know, be excited. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Lots of fun stuff.
Can't wait. I know. I can't wait to get back in there. I found my notes from when I talked to the lead or our guy over there, Geldor, and one of the things. So the bullet points that I wrote down from my last meeting with him was that the main thing is just around house customization, which I talked about. Right, you'll be able to mint a plot and you'll be able to customize the plot to some degree, and then the idea is that like there's it'll still be teleportation based like we did in the Eve of Memory event, but there will be like more areas that are built out, and there's like more areas where the housing, like the player housing areas, are a bigger chunk of the world, right? So the game is still like, let's say it's technically like open world in sort of structure, but it's some places will still be like blocked out with clouds or whatever. So and then there's like, you know, just a lot of general like expansions, right? Easier, like ease of the quality of life stuff. Like there'll be like area chat and chat logs, things like that. Or, you know, I think we should have delegate cache integration by then. And then there'll just be like more content, right? More spells, more recipes, more content, all that stuff. So it's just going to be like more of the game built more out. And I'm so looking forward to it.
But it sounds like the mounts will not be available just yet.
Oh yeah, I don't think mounts are making it in yet. Yeah.
Okay. All good.
Nah.
Yeah, that's very exciting.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, go ahead, Meadow.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. So mounts will not be in this build. And the quantum gift mounts, by the way, those are actually like the Pixar for them is actually still being like made for it. I see some. I think one or two of them. I think I already see in the dev channel. But yeah, those will be revealed a bit later. But no, quantum gifts will not be. I guess we won't preview them for a bit. Like there's gonna be more like the full game release. But we will have some additional goodies that you can get in this event. More news on that to come. But those will also be exclusive goodies that you can get only in this event. So, you know, maybe I'll drop a small alpha actually. If this is gonna be building related, you can expect that what you get exclusively from this event will be closely related to buildings. I'll say that.
Cool. Okay, speaking of mounts, Zone is asking, will ponies have 3D models? And then there's actually two other 3D questions. Zinaris is asking, any fun 3D stuff in the pipeline? And then Flo is asking, can we know what order will be released for 3D models, warriors, spawns, ponies, beasts? Okay, yeah, so let me touch on all these. The very next 3D model will be the beasts. I actually think they're going to be out this week. I mean, they're actually already done. We're just working on a fun promo video that should also be done this week. So 3D beasts this week. Warriors, that is, let's just say that's TBD. And then 3D ponies. Okay, here's the thing about 3D ponies. I'll just say it. I actually already have them. I'm not done, but like 50% done. The problem is that they are quadrupeds, meaning like partner metaverses may not support quadruped player rigs right away. The default player rig that they're all supporting is like a bipedal humanoid rig, right? So like if we like make these ponies as fully operational game assets, like Nifty Island, for example, may not be able to support a quadruped right away, if it ever, honestly. So it's like, we could make them, but then I don't really know what to do with them unless like Magic Machine builds some kind of pony game or somebody in the cult builds a 3D pony game. So I don't know if that really answers your question. It's like I do want to make them. I've got them like 50% done. I don't know exactly the best strategy to roll them out.
I think the best strategy is you get Frog Eater to re-rig them and morph their skeleton up so that way they actually are bipedal, and then you use them so you can start shooting people in the island with your pony. What do you say?
Honestly, Matto, that's not a bad idea, and that could work. I mean, that is actually a solution, but yeah, that's sort of the state of 3D. I myself have been really wanting to make a pony game, but got to convince Dotta and Bear. Okay, let's see what else we got. Hen Boyd is asking, when is the next map expansion reveal? Hen Boyd, I'm going to assume you're not talking about the Runiverse game. You're talking about just like the general Runiverse map, like the one on the website. And okay, so I'll say it's actually done. I'm just kind of sitting on it. I think I'm just like waiting for a reason to reveal it rather than just like randomly tweeting it one day. One thing that we're going to do in 2024 is try to tell more regular stories, like on Twitter. We're still working out the production on that. But we're gonna have like a main character that just sort of runs around the Runiverse, and maybe that'll be a good way to reveal the full map. But yeah, it's really just I'm looking for a good reason to reveal it. That's the only thing that's sort of holding it up. Human Resources says, I have a lot of existential questions. Where do you want to start? Human Resources, if you want to put an exact existential question in the Secret Tower, I will be happy to answer it. Bill Gaines, Matto, this is for you. Can you guys please put the Runiverse game back online? I'm tired of doing things in real life.
Soon.
Matto,
Yeah,
what do you say?
soon trademark. No, we're really excited to have it up too. Trust me, we're the devs are working really hard on it, but we just want to make sure that we have everything in place for it. So keep an eye out.
Do you have any advice for Bill to what he can do in real life just to sort of satiate his boredom?
I would say first thing he should do is probably get some jelly donuts. That's what satiates my thirst a lot. I've been doing that a lot since this Runiverse game came off. Probably gained a few pounds from it. And I think second thing, second thing is keep an eye out. Maybe this week or next week, and we'll be announcing some more stuff. We still don't. I don't think a date is going to be announced anytime in the next week or two, but we definitely want to push it out early as well. So.
All right. And then we also have a bunch of Book of Lore questions. Dotta, if you want to jump on these. So Feckless is asking about a random lore button. Entropy is asking, honestly, Entropy, do you want to just say your question? It's kind of, I'm not sure if I understand it, to be honest.
Yeah, totally. So I was just, so I've been waiting for my comics to arrive, and I'm super excited for them to get here and be able to read the lore that's in it. And it got me thinking, for people who haven't ordered the comic, is there any plan to distribute the comics like digitally so that people don't have to have the physical copy in hand to learn the lore and appreciate the work that's been done there? But totally understand that like that comes into a balanced play with selling copies and all that too. So I was just curious if there was any other like distribution plans for the comic, or if it'll primarily just be like the physical copies.
We do. We have digital copies available, and it should have been in the original announcement. But if it's not, we will make sure that it is. There's actually some exclusive content in the digital only version. So I will put that up there.
Hell yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I was yeah, and apologies. I assumed this might have been something that was covered. I totally missed, but I just wanted to check in because I'm super excited to read the story.
Yeehaw!
Yeah, I'm an idiot. That was not a Book of Lore question. That was a comic question. But back to the Book of Lore. Dotta, when jump to random lore button?
Ooh, that's a great idea. We should do that. I think the Book of Lore needs an overhaul. Yeah, I don't have anything more to say about that. It's a good idea.
Yeah, no, the Book of Lore does need an overhaul, which I'm hoping we can get to in this year. I saw just like a bunch of general commentary on the Book of Lore and the Secret Tower, and it seemed like a lot of people are just sort of wondering, like almost like why write lore. There's several reasons to do it. Your stories may show up in these bigger media expressions like the comic, like the show. But honestly, like one of the most exciting reasons for me is that it trains our Loreacle. Every Book of Lore entry just goes into the Runiverse Hive mastermind. Dotta, is the Loreacle still functioning, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Still getting updated. Still keep on keeping on. There's a lot. So I could geek out about the large lore model for a long time. I don't know actually how interested people are, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because I'm up here. So the Book of Lore, like the Loreacle 2.0, is something that like we've been basically collecting pieces of for quite a long time. One of the things that if you follow the LLM space at all, so that's large language models, that's what ChatGPT is based on, you'll probably know that it moves at a ridiculous pace, right? It's moving actually at the same pace as something like even crypto, where the models are getting better day by day. The tooling is getting better day by day, the abilities of what it's capable of doing. And so one of the things that we found, even with like the current Loreacle, is that we built it and then all of it was outdated in terms of the tooling, like very, very quickly. It's still functional, it's still helpful, but basically I think that like the capabilities that we expect out of like the Loreacle 2.0 will be pretty good. There's a lot of work around what they're calling agents, where you're able to actually have it do iterated requests, right? So like you kind of see this a little bit with ChatGPT when you have it search the web, right? Ideally, right now, if you ask the current Loreacle, questions that's like, oh, what kobold like tell me about a kobold's birthday party or something. Like it can't necessarily like look for something and then go back and look for more and like resolve these like second order queries. And so we basically just want to add a lot more intelligence to it, is what I'm getting at. There's also some really interesting ideas around models that get fine-tuned for specific purposes, like writing screenplays or poetry, or there's actually a bunch of open source models that are as good as ChatGPT 3.5 that are basically they don't give any refusals. By that I mean they're sort of let's call it uncensored. Not so much that they're trained on uncensored data, but rather they're trained to not refuse your query, right? So like you can basically go to these models and say, like I know, I'm sure you've experienced this with ChatGPT, that either one of two things happens. One, you ask ChatGPT something and it refuses to answer, or two, you're like too afraid to ask because it's being logged. And like these models actually run locally, and so you can be like, oh, what's the recipe for like making meth? Be specific, and then they'll like spit it out and like tell you exactly what it is. And so I think that like there's really interesting ideas in models outside of GPT that could be useful for the next Loreacle. So yeah, we're working on those things behind the scenes, but you're just gonna have to wait till we have a new version ready.
What I think is so strong about our project is just all of this community created lore, especially in the context of training large lore models or large language models. No other community really has this treasure trove of lore like we do. And I continue to believe that as we enter this age of AI, the most valuable thing is going to be data, because you need data to train unique models, and we have got data in spades. And this is just a huge reason to contribute to the Book of Lore. Every piece of creativity that you put in there just makes our project stronger and more unique in this age of AI models. So that's a huge incentive, because then then we can use that to just build amazing things.
I also want to include our Discord into the Loreacle. Like, I think it would be helpful, like both ways, that it both ingests Discord and that it also is a bot where you can like ask questions about things that happened in Discord. So like Bear and I have been testing out a version where it's actually able to like summarize the last 24 hours, right? I've actually wrote this. I actually have a bot for the Forgotten Runes Alpha channel that will summarize the last 24 hours of discussion and kind of give you a summary to be like, what did I miss? Like, what do I need to be looking at? I haven't deployed it yet because I just have a lot going on and I know it'll have bugs, but yeah, stay tuned for that bot. And so I think there's just so much that could be done, but not only for alpha for like trading, but also just like understanding the culture of our community and keeping on top of announcements and understanding the role play that happens there. Like the Discord is just a wellspring of what it means to be a part of Forgotten Runes, and so the Loreacle should know about that.
Speaking of the Discord, I just want to give a huge compliment to the cult. I've been meaning to say this for weeks, and I keep forgetting, but you just reminded me, Dotta. We had a pretty big name come into the Discord the other day, and he DM'd me afterward and said, your community, the cult, is probably the best NFT community I have ever seen, hands down. So, man, well done to the cult. That is just I don't know. I can't thank you enough for just being awesome in the Discord. It means everything to an NFT project. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. Man, we only have 10 minutes left. Okay, Meeple Dad, one final question. Meeple is asking, when did you first read The Hobbit? That's a fun question. Okay, so here's my trajectory with The Hobbit. When I was a child, the first Hobbit experience I had was the Rankin and Bass animated film. Have you guys seen that? The old, like, I think it's from the 70s animated version of The Hobbit. Yeah. It's actually really good. And so that was the first time I saw The Hobbit. Then I read The Hobbit and then Lord of the Rings shortly after that. And then I think it was like 10 years later the Peter Jackson films came out. So yeah, I think I was like maybe like 14 years old when I first read The Hobbit, Meeple.
Yeah, my dad used to read me The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings when we were little. Like I was probably 8 or 10 or something. And that was fun. And my dad was the type that would like try to read us like the Silmarillion, right? Like, and I'm pretty sure I just slept through it because I don't remember any of it.
No, the Silmarillion is so boring.
Yeah, but we had it, and for a time, my dad was like working a couple jobs, and he was working super hard, and he at one point he had after we like finished Hobbit and finished the Lord of the Rings, he was into fantasy and he would just like tell us stories. And so he would tell us stories and we would make up like his own fantasy world. And even some of those ideas we like integrated into the collection, right? So this idea of Dwarsgarth was his character's name, and that made it into the collection. And there's a couple others, and one of the things that he would do is he worked a couple of jobs. He worked at a factory in like a graveyard shift, and he would actually call us over his lunch break as we were like going to bed, because his lunch break was like 9 p.m. or whatever, and we were going to bed. And he would like tell us like the next installment of the story, like from literally like this like corded payphone in his lunch break room. And so I don't know, when I think about like The Hobbit and I think about like that era of my first encounter with those, it's also like associated with that same time of just like my dad sitting and reading to us and telling us stories. So yeah, that's my answer.
I bet Bear hasn't even read The Hobbit.
Wait, I'm still working on learning how to read.
Okay, hold on. I want to give a Dota dad anecdote. Dota, correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
Wasn't it your dad who came up with the whole soul burning mechanism?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah. Your dad's a huge Forgotten Runes fan, I think.
Yes. Yep, he is.
I love it. Okay, I think that's all the questions. You want to jump into the cult content chronicle?
Let's do it.
By who? Wait, who's it by?
Somebody who's really illustrious.
The illustrious.
Yeah, I think her name's the illustrious Tanya Del Rio.
Yeah, Tanya Del Rio. That's it.
That's who it is.
Tanya
Yeah.
Del Rio. Give her a follow.
Every damn week.
Every
damn week.
Every damn week. This is week 50 of the Cult Content Chronicle. Damn, that's kind of that's a milestone. Okay, number one, let's start it out with Leif Dojang Music. Collaborated. Wait, I think Tanya and Leif collaborated on this thing, right? Is it? Was it that? Is that who?
I think so. I think that's right.
Okay, yeah. If you guys haven't seen this collaboration between Tanya and Leif, it's so good. And I'm gonna say right now, I went home for Christmas break, and I left my freaking laptop at home. So long story short, I was not able to mint this thing, and I'm devastated because there were some awesome mints this week that I totally missed out on. Anyway,
I got one.
Yeah. It's a damn shame. So congrats to everyone who got one of these. It's beautiful. Next we have Artsy shared a really fun piece by Daniela Lustra. I think we saw the work in progress of this piece in the last few weeks. It's finally done. Man, it's super cute. I think it's basically a commemorative illustration of Rune's TCG Souls Edition. Very cool. And then Artsy shared a really fun cameo of a green slime in base paint. I love how many wizards are contributing to base paint. It's been great. It's been really great. Markafine shared a really fun work in progress of Merlin's wizard. And I got to say, this is the first time I realized that Markafine is actually drawing over the original NFT. I did not know he was doing that, but it makes perfect sense. It's the exact proportions. I can't believe I did not realize that until now. But yeah, this is going to be a good one. It's of Merlin. And then speaking of Markafine, damn, this is one of my favorite pieces of the week. Markafine drew the Bugbear Chieftain. Have you guys seen this? It's so good.
I love it. I think Markafine's work is incredible. Like the line work and the details are just some of my favorite.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me by any chance?
I can hear you now.
Oh, we can hear you now.
Oh gosh, I was talking. Yeah, I was.
Oh.
Well, I'm probably too late, but Markafine's work is really great. I love Markafine's work.
Yeah, no, Marco's awesome. Okay, Meeple Dad has been posting some riddles inspired by the props in the Wizard collection. That's really fun. I didn't even know that. Yeah, well done, Meeple Dad. So this one I'm looking at now is about the Spectre Stone Staff. Yeah, very cool. Let's see. I think I lost my place. Okay, no. Oh, and then speaking of Meeple Dad, still working on the Lego Tower. It's coming up. It's coming up. It looks like he's almost done. It's got some minifigs in there. Yeah, it looks like he just needs to build the top portion, and I'm guessing maybe he's done. It's been really fun watching that. Shadowy 30 shared a really fun psychedelic piece that has an animated version to go with it. Wizard Small is teasing us with their Forgotten Smalls project. Looking forward to that. Magus Devon has been refining their stable diffusion model. This is potentially one of the most advanced stable diffusion models I think I've ever seen on all of Twitter. I don't think I've seen anyone take it this far. This is just incredible.
It's so good. The character is so recognizable. Every detail is in place. The art is high quality. Just incredible work.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I put a lot of work into trying to get those models put together.
Yeah, Matto. I mean, like you and Claire Silver are like the only ones who I think have taken it this far. And I think you've even gone farther than Claire, because you're like actually using a recurring character, which is really hard to do in my experience. Yeah, very cool. Entropy, what the hell happened to your TV, man?
I lost all control.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Well, I'm glad it made it into the Cult Content Chronicle. It's a piece of work.
That is not actually my TV. I just want to clarify. I did not commit violence over withdrawals from Runiverse Game. Although
we know the meme.
All right. Good.
Don't wreck the story. Don't wreck the story, Entropy.
Okay. In my tree, I think they are the winner of this really fun plum piece by the Mallet. Well done. I mean, it really is a beautiful piece. And then Magic Monday News, special guest, post producer, treat of the week was the Broom. Man, that was episode 38, New Year's episode. And then Hen Boyd recorded himself opening up a pack of Runes TCG. And I think that's it. And then Sharon, I think Sharon has some announcements to make. So Sharon, hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Oh,
yes, we can.
Hi, Happy New Year's, everyone.
Happy New Year.
I just want to give a couple updates from the DAO. Wismus Warrior contest ends Friday. So if you have not had a chance to vote, please vote. There is several new cult members who have submitted artwork or lore for this contest. Go show everyone who submitted something for the contest some love, and somebody's going to win Emerson. So please do that. And you only get 3 votes. Please do not vote more than 3 times, but take your 3 votes and exercise your right to vote and do that. And then from the DAO, we have a vote going on for honoring the legacy proposals. It ends January 9th. And I just want to update. I know that it's passing by hundreds of votes, but DAO votes are going to come up now on a regular basis. And I just want to break down for it. If you own an NFT from our project, for every warrior you own, you get 1 vote. For every wizard you own, you get 2 votes. For every pony you own, you get 4 votes. For every soul you own, you get 8 votes. And for every beast you own, you get 50 votes. So please exercise your right to vote and help the DAO. And then last...
I want to add...
Sure.
Well, actually, finish your last one and I'll come back to that. That's fine.
Oh, well, I'm going to talk about villainize. I'm switching subjects, so go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, I just want to reiterate that everyone should vote, especially on this proposal that's up now, which is around like, should we reimburse the people who have already done work on proposals that were approved the first time around? I mean, for me, I think that this vote should pass, and I think it's important that people vote. This is basically people who, correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that people had the vote pass originally when we kind of jumped the gun and had initial proposals. And then it was kind of like a recheck to say, hey, do we really want to pay people for some work that they've already done? And we have a budget, and it's only about $17,000.
Right.
So yeah, and I think that the last I checked, like this morning or something, there was only like 600 votes for. I don't know what our like quorum rules are, like our threshold rules are for something to even pass at all. I don't know if we have that set up for this vote. But what I'm getting at is that I think that everyone here should vote. If you own Wizards, you should vote. I've talked about this before, but like when we talk about like airdrop qualifications, for example, I think did you vote in the snapshot is like such an easy metric for us to pull from. So while I'm not touting any specific airdrop in any near term, I think it's an important on-chain metric that you should participate in, and we want to encourage.
Sure. Everybody, please vote. I mean, even in the Wismus Warrior contest, some of the votes are very close. You could really make a difference in someone's life, an artist, if they won Emerson. So please, everybody vote. And then last but not least, I'm doing a shameless promo for Bill and I. We are back live on X. And since I'm not a boomer, we are, Twitter Spaces will be live this Monday, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we talk about a different location on the Runiverse map. And we are going to visit Fur Gnome Wold this week. So please join us. And then we have fun and we discuss other topics about Forgotten Runes. But join Bill Gaines and I live on X. 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I know, Elf, you're not up yet and it's too early for you, but you could get up early one day and participate.
Wait,
So there you go.
Sleepyhead.
Sharon, how early is it again? Tell me again.
It's 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, so 11.
It's like 9. I think
You
that's
guys are
9
such
your
boomers.
No, that's 8 o'clock in the morning. That's the exact time I get up.
time.
Well, pour a
Yeah.
cup of coffee and join us.
All right. I will. One of these days.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Okay, I think that's it. Is there anything else?
I'm sorry I've been so quiet this show. I'm trying to get an email out that's important, so I apologize for not being as
We're
present
not
as
important.
usual. You're so very important. I'm multitasking.
Did you just say an email to Forbes?
Yeah.
No,
I don't think so.
I definitely was not emailing
Wizzy's
Forbes.
30 under 30.
I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail. I'm too young.
I actually just thought of one more thing real quick. New Year's resolution for me. I am going to try to start tweeting more just lore stuff. Specifically, what I mean is I put a lot of like little Easter eggs just in everything from like the secret tower to the map to just stuff in all the collections. And I think I really want to start tweeting about that stuff more. So hold me to it if I don't. That's my New Year's resolution. Bear, Dotta, do you guys have one?
No.
I do. I have a couple actually.
Go for it.
Ironically, one of them is being more present.
Yeah.
So
not off to a good start.
Yeah, not off to a good start. The other one is like taking care of myself more. I gotta get in peak physical condition if we're gonna make it through this bull run. So I'm trying to get 8 hours of sleep, trying to move my body more, work out, all that stuff.
So, and also that it's also helpful when I have to do a little rematch against Elf arm wrestling. So
Yeah, the arm wrestling challenge.
Yeah, I feel like I could destroy you if we did it again. So.
I can't wait for this.
Here's the thing: is like
wait.
you had an opportunity all last year when I was Fat Bear, but now I'm going to be Athletic Bear. I don't know. I think you missed the window.
No, I don't think so. But what I'm really looking forward to is the day that Dotta takes both of us down.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, we all have to be in the same place for any of this to happen. So let's try to do that in the next couple.
I got a new doctor. He's going to hook me up with some peptides.
What?
Shit, dog! Watch out for those peptides. I'm scared.
Oh, Dotta always has some like random health situation going on in that.
Dude,
like
it's so
I
true.
feel like you have like, don't you have like a tank, like a low pressure
hyperbaric chamber. Yeah, I do. It's amazing.
Okay.
Justin Bieber has one. Michael too had one before he passed.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it doing? What does it do exactly?
So you get in this like sleeping bag, this airtight sleeping bag, and you put a pump up to it, and it brings up the air up to like, 2 or 3 or 4 atmospheres, which is like super good for your body. Like, okay, you know how like the dinosaurs were able to grow so big because there was like more oxygen in the atmosphere? That's like me right now.
I did.
So,
okay, well that's very cool. So
get
you're
ready to arm wrestle.
So you are going to win the arm wrestling match.
Yeah. Oxygen and peptides, we don't have a chance. Come on, he's gonna be a dinosaur.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Let's see if I can get this music going. All right. This has been Elf, Bear, Dotta, Entropy, Matatsuki, English Tea from Taproot Wizards, Sharon, and the rest of the Forgotten Runes Wizards cult, channeling out from the Quantum Downs. GN, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good one, guys.